On this video, I'm going to show you the exact mindset that you need to possess to be able to make tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month. And when you possess this mindset, it will be like that, your success, like that all the time, every day, every month. It will just pile up in your bank account. So tune in. Let me know if you need help in the comments section on any of the strategies that I go over on this video. I'll see you inside.
Hey, I'm the Viking Marketer, and this is my business partner and fellow founder of Digital Freedom Movement, Kellen Chivy. Since 2017, we went from mechanics busting our knuckles every single day, never getting days off, to unlocking freedom for ourselves and helping thousands of other people just like yourself do the exact same thing. Subscribe and tune in and see how we're creating freedom for thousands of people.
So what I wanted to go over, guys, is like I said before, is the difference between like when you're doing like entrepreneurship, sales, life-changing stuff, not classifying it as work. Nothing getting a feel. Yeah, perfect. That's awesome. But and it's not work. Like none of this stuff is work. And the more that you think about it as work, the less success you're going to have. Okay, so work is a four-letter word. Okay, like fuck work, right? It is a four-letter word. Nobody likes to work, and that is one of the biggest issues when it comes to like entrepreneurship and doing this type of stuff. And this is something that I came to a realization too, that like I have a lot of people in my life that do have that kind of mentality. That do have the mentality that work sucks. Work isn't fun. Work is bad. Like don't do work. Come play. And it's just like the thing is for me. My work is not a four-letter word. My work is super fun. It's super fulfilling. Everything I do like has meaning to me, and it gets me closer to my goals and my dreams, and gets me closer to the person that I want to be, and all of my aspirations and the fulfillment that I want to have and the abundance that I want to have. And it's so funny that so often you see people, they try to push their opinions on you and try to drag you into their paradigms. And you will see this a lot in your lives. And it's unfortunate that that's just the way that it is, right? Like it's super unfortunate that you will have people pushing their agendas, their feelings, all that kind of stuff onto you. And it can really, really shift your stuff when it comes to sales or entrepreneurship. And sales and entrepreneurship is not the easiest thing in the first place. Like it's not, because most times you're working all day, then you come home and you're tired and you have to do more, and that's hard. Not everybody can do that, and praise be you for being able to do that. Like that's amazing for you, and I'm super pumped for you. I'm super pumped that you're here with me so I can help you with that and give you that perspective, because for me it wasn't always easy, especially with the people that I had that were surrounding me. And I had to stop their influences because they weren't helping me get to essentially where I wanted to be. And they were taking value away from me and taking joy away from me because they didn't have the same alignments. And that's cool for them and all that good stuff. Like that's no hate or anything like that. If they think work is a four-letter word to them, that's cool. But for me, it's not. And having that mentality going into entrepreneurship or into sales or any of those kind of like demographics where you actually have to like push yourself a little bit harder is only going to lead yourself to more failure. Because what you're going to do is you're going to sit on the surface and you're just going to put in the motions. And that is that 9-to-5 mentality, is just going through the motions instead of actually like doing the things that are going to make the impact and doing the things where you actually care. So that is really what I wanted to go over here. Is just like that is the wrong way of doing things. So I'm just going to pull up my beautiful little whiteboard here. So let's pop out this whiteboard and let's jam out a little bit on it. And it is so work is bad, work is good. And let's draw like a squiggly line here. Oh, that was a really bad squiggly line. Let's pretend like that squiggly line never happened. Let's do that. I just want, oh, my eraser's okay. Let's try this again. Let's just go straight. Straight sounds fine. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, cool. So we got that. Work is good, work is bad. So when work is bad, you go through the motions, which is, how does that help anybody, right? Like if you work on an assembly line at a factory and you go through the motions, that's perfect. That's all the output that you need to do is just going through the motions. The bottle comes by, you make sure there's another bottle that gets on there. If you have to stack up the next box, you stack up the next box, and that's fine. And that's where that mentality comes from, is that whole assembly line, the production line of doing those kind of things, or working as a cashier. Once again, it's a production line. Somebody's just bringing you groceries, you're putting them through, and then you're taking the money. But the thing is that doesn't involve soft skills. Now, entrepreneurship and sales is all about soft skills. Like that's where it is. So work is good. You actually care about what you are doing and who you are serving. And what I mean by this is, a lot of times, say you go to a cash register, you get these cashiers that are just like, they're like scanning your stuff through. I hope you have a great day. Next person, scan it through. I hope you have a great day. Scan it through. Do they actually care about like the day, or like, oh, how's your day going? Oh, the weather's great today. Blah, blah, blah. That nothing conversation. They don't really care about. They're just doing it to make their day go by a little bit faster, maybe have a laugh and go through. Nobody cares. No needle is moved. None of that type of stuff. That is going through the motions. But let's just say that you're dealing with somebody, and what you should be focused on is finding out their problem so you can come to a solution. So write down in a second here. You're actually going to be asking them questions. It's not about the weather. Like, what's really going on in your life that's creating these problems? Like, what's happening? Like, I want to help you here. Like, what's actually going on? Like, what's caused you this? How long is it being persistent in your life for? Those kind of things. Like, you're actually asking them deeper questions, not like, how's the weather? How's your day going? Things that nobody cares about, and you're never going to actually hear anything, and it's never going to actually quantifiably help anybody with. So this is like the massive difference between those two things. So one is you stay on the surface to just get through it, and then it's over. Okay, so that is work is bad. You stay on the surface so you can just get through it, and then it's over. And that is what work is bad. That's going through the motions. That's a 9-to-5 mentality. But then if you actually care, okay, so and then if work is good, you are going into a deeper conversation where you actually care about the person you're dealing with and the problems that they are having, so you can help them have a better life. And that is exactly the problems they're having, so you can make their life better. And like that is entirely exactly what you need to be doing. So there's a big difference. So let's just say that you're talking to a client, and they are telling you that, yeah, they would love to make more money, or love to start an online business, or love to be an entrepreneur, or love to, do what you do. That's cool. That's awesome. That's fantastic. That's awesome. So ask them questions like, cool, well, like, what job do you do? And they tell you, hey, I'm cash register. You're like, awesome. How long have you been doing that for? And they're like, 5 years. Cool. That's awesome. Now, whereabouts do you live? Cool. That's awesome. And it's just like, that's just going through the motions. It's like, oh, I'm supposed to find out some information about people, and not really caring about what that information is or how that is important to their then like outcome in life and where they're trying to go, their mission. All it is you just asking them questions, and then you wonder why people start ghosting you. It's because you're asking questions that, one, have no meaning, and then 2, have no value because you've made it unvaluable. You've made it just another piece of grocery that you're swiping through the checkout. And having that kind of mentality while you're going through business, sales, entrepreneurship, you're just going to be another piece of that industry that just goes through and is left in the distance because you don't care enough to actually care, to actually make an impact. And you have to actually care to make an impact. So you have to do those things that sometimes maybe is uncomfortable, or sometimes maybe it takes a little bit more effort, but it's actually going to get you to where you want to go. So I guess it's like comes down to the decision. It's like, do you actually care about hitting your goals, or do you not? And is this actually something that's important to you, or is this something not? Because if it's important to you, you're going to actually care about it. But if it's not important to you, then who cares, right? So you have to go deeper into that kind of conversation where you are doing those things and you're asking the questions. You're asking the questions where like it's all leading into that, and it's all leading from their problems into their solutions, into you eventually giving them the solutions, and you being the solution for their life, for their issues, and everything like that that's going on. The solution here is moving on and forward. No one is better or worse. So this is what the mentality most of the time I see with people in sales and entrepreneurship. It's like that door knocker comes to your door, they knock on your door. Like they're just trying to move on to that next door, the 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 next door. And it's just like, hopefully they just find somebody that they jive with and goes on, and then they make their sale. Like they're not actually looking to improve your life. They're not actually looking to better you in any kind of way. They're just looking to move forward. And if they're better for it, then they're better for it. If they're not, they're not. And it really doesn't matter. Let's just keep moving forward. But like, if you actually want to be able to be in these things long term, it's not just about moving forward, it's their problems. Wow, I can't spell able. So like their problems, the solutions are to the problems that you've asked the questions about, and asked like meaningful questions. So what's going on in your life that's creating you so much pain? Like what are the problems going on right now? Like what are you here to talk to me about that's keeping you from your goals? Okay, this is it. How long have these problems been going on in your life? Okay, crazy. Have you tried to do anything to fix these things before? Okay, awesome. And then you're like going back and forth with them about like the problems that they have, how long they've been going on, how important they are to them, and like why they're important to them, and like if they've tried to like fix anything, so you can curate a plan around them. Because sometimes the solution for one person will be different. So like we were just talking to Eric a minute ago, like he has God inside of his entrepreneurship, which is awesome. I love it. It's great. But some people are not that way. So would the same plan be for somebody that's that wants to incorporate God in their business to somebody that doesn't? Like, no, it's going to be totally different. So it's got to be like what matters to people, and how can you correlate that through? Like, let's just go into like fitness or something like that. That it's just like, okay, like my body's not the way that I want it to look, which is fine. That's great. We're all work in progress, right? But like, okay, cool. So like, what are the things that you love to eat? And it's like, oh, I love to eat cake and cookies. Cool. That's awesome. You love to eat cake and cookies. Those are things generally you have to eliminate from your diet to lose weight. But like, are those things that you think that you can live without? And they're like, no, I can't live without that. And it's like, cool. Okay, then we just have to find a plan that works for that. Maybe you have a piece of cake every third day, and it's just a third of a portion that you normally have, but you still get it. But it's just not as much. So we're reducing the calorie intake so we can lose some weight. And it's like, okay, cool. Well, that's a solution. And then you incorporate some other ways of taking out some calories in the diet or whatnot. And that's correlating a plan that actually works for them, that they're actually going to go through. Because a lot of times that if you don't care, you won't actually be able to find out the problems. Or if you do find out the problems, you won't actually be able to come to a solution that's actually going to work for these people. Because if they're going to eat cake regardless, and you telling them that they're not going to eat cake, one, that's not only going to create that defeating mentality in their head that they'll never be able to lose weight, and they'll never be able to have the success they want, and they'll never be able to have that body that they want, which is untrue. Everything is manageable. Everything is able to be curated to people. It's about just caring enough to do that. So if you want cake and eat it too, that's fine. We'll make the plan for you. But they'll just have to follow along, because if you don't give them their cake and eat it too, then they won't be able to have the success, because eventually they'll be defeated because it wasn't something that they really wanted to agree on. They were just doing it because they wanted the results, and results don't always come like this. And if they don't get the results they want after a month or after 2 months, and they're having that low day, guess what they're going to go do? They're going to go eat their cake anyways. So you might as well give them their cake and then figure out the plan that works around it. And I think that's the problem with most people. They just don't care enough to figure out how I can still give you cake. And that is why work is good, and you have to have that enjoyment, the fulfillment from it, to be able to make that impact. But if you don't really care, if you're just in this to make a quick dollar, and you're just in this because you thought it'd be easy, and you're just in it for those type of things, most likely that's going to be work, and you're just going to go through the motions. And then you're probably going to come to a failure at the end. And it sucks. And I don't like to be the person that says those things, but that's generally what I end up seeing. So you have to have that meaning, you have to have that drive towards it, and you have to have enjoyment. If you do have that enjoyment, you do have that drive towards it, and you can't see it, you're gonna find a way to make the time for it, make the sacrifices for it, and do that. The sacrifice is not eating cake every single day and eating every third day. You're like, well, I can manage that. That sounds understandable. Those are the things, but sometimes you just need somebody else to break it down for you. And that's why work has to be good for you, or you won't be good at business, sales, entrepreneurship. So I don't know if I really, really hope this stuff helps you guys. I really hope this gives you that perspective to how you need to be coming into business, how you need to show up every single day. It's not just going through the motions, just being told that you need to post, so you just post something. It's actually caring about what you post and actually doing the things that are going to correlate to your success in the long run. It's not just having the conversations because the people came through your DMs. It's like having a gratitude that you actually have people coming through your DMs, because a lot of people that are not having success in business, that are struggling to even find people that are interested, and that are just like, I would die for one of these. And you're like, yeah, I have 10, but fuck, I have to deal with these 10 people. So you just go through the motions. It's not about that. Have the gratitude that you actually have these people going through your DMs that you can help. And that in turn that you'll be more successful because you help them. And that's the approach that you need to this type of stuff if you're actually going to succeed. So take a screenshot of this if you want, enjoy it, put this into work, and this is what's going to help you take your life and your business to the next level.
I hope you gained a tremendous amount of value on making money online and the online business world. I know it's not always the easiest thing to break into, so this is why we put out these videos on YouTube and all the other free content that we put out. But if you actually want to work with us and get some of this one-on-one mentorship that we provide inside of our community, reach out to us and we will get you set up with a one-on-one call with one of our advisors. We will set up a customized plan for your online business and how we're going to get you scaled to 5 figures quicker than anywhere else on the internet.